Hello, hello, this is Paper Cuts Included coming to live from the Ninja Turtle sleeping blanket, and that's how you know it's legit. Today might be one of the last pickup videos for a while. I'm out of pickups, so I'm gonna have to go buy some more, which I think I can pull off, me buying more books, you know. But we got some interesting stuff, nothing too spectacular until like the last 4 books, but we went to a game exchange and a antique store. And these two places, they don't really get that much new stuff, hardly ever. It's one of those, if you go more than once every 6 months, you're going to find the same stuff. So we only go there 2 to 3 times a year, and we were able to find some interesting stuff. So yeah, let's get right into it. The first thing I bought was the Nom magazine. This is a Michael Golden book. I don't know what came out first, the magazine or the comic. The magazine is 2 issues at a time, whereas the singles. The first 12 issues were done by Michael Golden, who I like a whole lot. I think he does a really good cartoony look, mixing it with the technical aspect that I like. So let's take a look at it. And what I mean by that, like his vehicles, his architecture is 100% technical, whereas his figures have this, look, like the scrawny neck, the big jaws, and I like that a lot, actually. I want that to be my approach to artwork. So I've always liked looking at Golden stuff, I don't think that's Golden artwork. I think that's a later. I guess, I bet the issues came out first and then they compiled them into. I always forget it's an 88. I always forget it's that late. Which I think a lot of people do too, because I feel like when I run into these books or the zines, they're really overpriced a lot of the time. Like, people want $10 for them sometimes, like 6 to 10. I don't want to pay that for some newer Marvel books, in the sense that I don't collect Marvel that much. For me it's Dark Horse, DC, Marvel, and Mirage, of course. Mirage is, of course, the number 1, or spiritual number 1. I probably gravitate towards more Dark Horse more. But of course, Mirage, IDW, stuff like that, that's in there too for my turtles. But no, we get our really that Joker-esque grin, the really hunched over, physique, and then we get this really good architectural drawing, this landscape. So it's cool how you can do that. I'm sure that's hard to pull off. Or like the Adam's apple really pronounced. I do that in my artwork now because I think that's really cool. So stuff like that is, I think, cool in his artwork. I read probably half the run of the Nom, but Michael Golden gets off at issue 12. And I don't know why he leaves, but it's noticeable. It becomes, even the tone becomes a lot more serious once he's gone, And I stopped reading it because it kind of got repetitive story-wise. I know I got out of it before the Punisher gets in. So I want to look at those issues and see how crazy they are, But who knows? I don't know. I'm just an artist. I just work here. But no, interesting artwork. Hopefully, I'm sure I don't have any of the Golden singles. I have a couple of the later, or I might have number 10. That sounds right. But, hopefully we'll find the first 12 issues and maybe do a little under the microscope. If this is your first ever comic book, or not comic, god damn. If this is your first ever Paper Cuts Included video, we are a comic book YouTube channel. See, there I go. That talks about art, artwork, comic book art, artists in general, and discusses it under a technical aspect. We look at the art more than the story. If you want to go look at just a story review, I'd go look at comic tropes. It's probably an 80-20 split here. 80% is we look at artwork, 20%, we will talk about the story, but we won't be like, oh my god, can you believe Superman did this? 6 issues ago, he did this. That won't be. And so yeah, a cool thing is if you get the zines, you just get Michael Golden pencils and inks, which is pretty. I don't know if he inks it. Does he ink it? I don't know. Does it even say it? Writer, penciler. Oh, he doesn't ink it, but it you know, really cool. It's always cool to see black and white artwork because the single issues are colored. So that'll have to be a comparison we do. Yeah. So like these videos, these pickup videos, if this is your first ever video, it's me not so much talking about the artwork, but just showing off what I got, you know, and doing brief little discussions like this one. If you want to see more of me talking about the artwork, like Under the Microscope, I have a series called Under the Microscope, where I directly look at books. Like the video before this, I take a 40-minute deep dive into Frank Miller's Ronin #1. So if you're into that stuff, check out my Under the Microscope. If you're into more of this style, where I just kind of do brief description, then show off what I got, pickup videos are what's for you. If you want to hear my 2 cents on how to create stuff and art tips, tips and references, or references and tips, is a other series we do. If you want to hear me and my co-host talk about, you know, just stuff in general, there is the Let's Chat About Comic Books channel, where we just kind of shoot the shit, you know? And there's that nom. The next thing I got is this Weird Western Tales. It is an anthology of artwork, or stories in the Wild West theme. And this is a Darwin Cook cover. That will come up pretty soon. And I solely got it for the Paul Pope and Dave Gibbons stuff. I really like Paul Pope's artwork a lot. I think he's very underrated, and I feel like there's not a whole lot of his stuff out there. I recommend you read Escapo by him. That's my favorite of his works. And actually, it's the only thing of his I've really done a deep dive into. Forgive me. But granted, I read it like a month ago, so it's a newer read, and I liked it a lot. But I think it's really good. His art's very fluid, very organic, very stylized, though, in his own way. We'll do a look through at his Adam Strange story in his Wednesday Comics, also anthology, I guess. And you know, if I find a trade of Escapo for not $50, because I'm an art student, I can't really afford a $50 book sometimes. You know, we'll definitely do a whole thing on Escapo. And that's my challenge to my freaking co-host, to read it still. Dylan, read it. It's amazing. But no, his artwork's super good. His coloring's really good. Or, I don't know. I need to stop saying if he colors it. Yeah, no, he doesn't color it. He does not color it. But his artwork's really good. And the coloring's really good too. So, boom, you got 2 really good artists there. A colorist can sometimes ruin a piece of artwork. You know, you need to have a good colorist. So there's that. We'll talk more about Paul Pope when I get full issues of his, not little anthologies. The next, probably the cleanest ever issue of Critters I have ever found. Usually when I find an issue of Critters, it looks, you know, it is ripped, it is beaten, the spine is barely holding on. This one looks like it, just came off the printer. Like, I thought it was a reprint, and it might still be, and you still need to check. But I already had this issue, but it's so clean I had to get it. And Critters is another anthology series, and it follows funny animal books. Some people kind of credit Critters as being an early furry book, and I can see that. I buy them for the Usagi Yojimbo stories by Stan Sakai. I don't really touch any of the other stories. I get why people do, but I don't. I'm just here for the Samurai Rabbit, or Ronin Rabbit. You know, and we got the Blind Swords Pig. I'd say that's one of the most well-known stories. I feel like I always see the Blind Pig and Usagi art, you know? So it's a fun way to get some Usagi art. You know, they do have some really cool Usagi covers on a couple of the Critters issue. Like, there's a really good one of him in armor, like samurai armor. So, always gotta try to pick him up. I can't wait to finish my Usagi run. Like, collecting wise, I think I'm missing 4 issues and I have to complete volume 1. And it's like 4 random issues, but I don't want to buy them on eBay. I've never run into Usagi in the wild. Like, never. Maybe once at the Memphis Comic Con almost a year ago, and those issues I already had. But I don't think I've ever run in. I think people hoard them because of the new show, you know? And sometimes people scoff at me at comic book stores when I ask for it. But no, Stan Sakai is another artist who has stayed consistent his entire career and has gone better. Like, I feel like his newer books, you can tell he's more confident now than he was back then in his artwork, and I think it shows. And I'll probably have to do an episode just explaining why I think that. Because it's minute, but to me it reads as more confidence. His line works more bolder. His, figures are more just... I don't know. It's hard to explain without directly looking at it. But I think there is growth with Stan Sakai's artwork. And here's another Dalgota series I need to look for. Flesh and Bones. A couple videos ago, we did a Under the Microscope of Dalgota. Check it out. It was actually pretty interesting. I thought it would be just a crappy 80s sci-fi book, and it turned out to be really interesting. So check out that video. Let's see. Speaking of Darwin Cook, here we got this. I don't know what this is. My theory is it came out with a DVD, because on the back it's advertising for the New Frontier movie. So I don't think it came out with the New Frontier, because why would they have the advertisement if... Maybe this was like a Comic-Con release thing. Like, or I don't know. If you know when this little format was released, let me know, because I'm really curious. I think it came out with a DVD or something. Or maybe it came out with a toy. I don't know. I bet it was a toy more than... Yeah. Well, because Marvel Legends came out with some books. So I bet this came out. Yeah, that makes more sense. But no, it is drawn by Darwin Cook and colored by Dave Stewart, who I believe is doing the coloring on Jeff Darrow's newer stuff. And it's okay. But I really like the New Frontier. I kicked myself so hard. I could have got like maybe half the run maybe a year ago in an antique store for like $2 each, and I passed on it. I don't know why, because I was reading it online. I don't know why. I don't know what I got instead to be like, nah. I might have not got anything. I think maybe we were coming back from a con or something. I didn't want to spend more money or something. I don't know, but it would have came out to like $16 for like half the run. I wish I would have got it. But no, his artwork's really good. His compositions are dope, because it is this like 3-panel artwork, and it's really dope how it works, in my opinion. So, no, I think people should look at this and come up with some cool compositions. You don't have to be like overtly, you don't have to break the mold with compositions, and you don't have to be just boring. Like, just figure out how your panels work, and it'll work itself out. But just experiment, you know what I mean? So, yeah, we'll have to do a look through at a New Frontier, because the art's really good, and like I said, the compositions are really interesting. The first issue's, I don't like the first issue. It's sad. They kill the dog. R.I.P. But it's cool. The coloring's really good. I don't know. Where was this coloring in Jeff Darrow's artwork? I don't know. I just feel like him and Jeff Darrow's stuff don't mix as well as, they could. So like I said, let me know, because I think this is the last spread in the book series. I think, So let me know what's going on. I love the Vigilante. He's one of my favorite obscure DC characters. Him and Shining Knight. I need to do some artwork of them. So let me know. But I think it's super good. Yeah, let me know how this came out. Did it come out with the toy? Did it come out with a DVD? Was it like a freebie at a Comic-Con or something? Or just some promotion that DC or Warner Bros. DC did? You know. Next, we got some Barry Windsor Smith art with some Rune. I could talk about Barry Windsor Smith for hours. His artwork's super good. I don't know for sure, but I want to say maybe his warm-up sketches for Weapon X, he did in Rune. Because Rune, there's a lot of laboratory scenes, and even the coloring looks exactly the same sometimes as his Weapon X story. And it's, a little bit different in this one, but in the first issue we looked at, and a couple weeks ago, that was also a pickup video, it was pretty, striking how similar they were. Or maybe he's just super good at drawing computers and laboratories, and that's just his hidden talent in the art community. Everyone's good at least drawing something. I'm good at, doing German expressionism. But maybe Barry Windsor Smith is doing covert ops laboratories. Castlevania Bloodlines. But no, it's cool. I'm glad I get to add it to my BWS art collection. That's, I used to, before this year I didn't have any, but in the past 6 months I probably have 10 books now. A lot of it his Conan stuff, and a lot of it his Weapon X stuff. But hey, it's great. Read Red Nails. It's great. But no, I need to check out Rune. What is this, the 3rd issue? So I have the 1st and 3rd. So maybe if I ever find the 2nd issue, because I'm not going to try to eBay that, we'll do it under the microscope of the first 3 issues. There was some other book under Malibu that BWS did that I found out through flipping through this book, and we need to look at that. Well, we need to look at any and every BWS book. But, did someone make a Rune toy? Or is that, I don't know what the hell that is. Let's see, does it say in the back? Yeah, this is... see what Blueprints, another Barry Windsor Smith. If you know what Blueprints is, let me know, because that sounds cool. I haven't looked it up yet, but I like the look of it just from the typography. Man, you're getting old and you like artwork when you like, oh, that looks cool typography. What I do, and that looks super phallic. With that being said, let's get out of this Rune book. What we got next? I'm not going to talk about them too much because I feel like I talk about them a little too much. I don't want to get you guys burned out of them. I got some All Red books. I feel like every pickup video I've ever done, All Red sneaks in somehow. All Red is an amazing artist. He is probably my favorite cartoonist of all time. Him and Jeff Smith really do some awesome works. Jeff Smith did Bone, and All Red's famous for Madman, and this is his work on Silver Surfer. He does the covers and the interiors, and his artwork's just amazing to me. I implore everyone to read Madman. It is a great, silly action book. If you just got depressed reading a Grant Morrison book, Madman will put you back in your spirit. It's incredible how good All Red is at cartooning and the story. And I have never read a Silver Surfer book. This is actually my first ever Silver Surfer book owning. Like I said, I didn't do Marvel that much growing up. But, All Red might sell me on it. Because, I'm sure that his Surfer and Madman probably going to have some more similarities than differences now. Just cut out the hair, cut out the Thunderbolt symbol, and you got Silver Surfer. So, you know, we'll have to look at it. But, you know, his artwork's great. I didn't know Ghost Rider was an agent. I never watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but hey. But yeah, I won't look at the rest because I don't want to burn you out of All Red just yet. I think he's too good to get burned out of, but hey, who knows? But there's that. Oh, that's a cool legend. Juggernaut. I bet that Juggernaut had... Alright. Yeah, okay. For some, it looked like he didn't have like any arm articulation, but whew. Yeah, we'll probably get into the most interesting books I got, tied with All Red, because All Red I just like personally. That being these super early Mike Mignola Rocket Raccoon books. This was either his second or third work ever, I think. At least when he worked at Marvel, because I think he did like a Comics Illustrated cover or something, and then he went to Marvel, did a Hulk, this, and it was something else. I can't remember off the top of my head. These books have apparently skyrocketed. The first issue, I think I was trying to find it on eBay, and I couldn't find it less than like 30 or 40. And you see how much I got these for, $5 each. And I couldn't even find the last, or they had the last issue there, but it was $25, and I didn't want paid. It was either get these or get the other one and not buy books for a couple days, you know, or not go out for the next weekend. On my app, it said that's the first cover appearance of Lila. Woohoo! But no, it is penciled by Mignola. It is not inked. And it is so early in his career that his signature is MM. It's not that classic Mignola that he will do in any other cover he's ever done. So let's break her open and look at it. Me and Mignola, or me to Mignola, I don't know how to express that, have a very... Mike Mignola is the reason I draw. I saw his artwork when I was a junior in high school, and it really changed how I saw comics. I thought that if you didn't look like Alex Ross, you weren't good. And seeing Mignola be successful in his very stylized approach, like flipped a switch in my head, let's go, I can do this. And ever since then, I've been drawing every day. Like, if, you know, my rule is, if I'm not, you know, even if I feel horrible, I have to draw for at least 30 minutes every day. And that's, you know, probably a lot less than I should, but... you know, it adds up. Or, you know, I draw for a lot more when I can. But no, the Mike Mignola pencils, you know, I bet if you took away the Mignola name, no one would know this was Mike Mignola's artwork. You know, if you're a comics fan, you're probably so used to his Hellboy approach, you know, those spotting blacks, the very harsh shapes, not this, you know, Marvel way of drawing. You know, he was a jobber when he was doing this story. It's very interesting how crazy, you know, this book is compared to a lot of his other stuff. The amount of times I've seen this freaking alien. Go home, E.T. But no, if I ever find issue 1 for cheap, if I ever win the lottery, we will certainly do an Under the Microscope. And we could probably do an Under a Microscope from just these two, which we probably will do now that I'm saying that. Because it, you know, at least compare it to his, you know, if I look at, put these two under the microscope and then buy whatever his newest book is, which was it, what is it, Pinocchio is his newest book at the time of filming this? Because what is Hellboy, Giant Robot, or Giant Hellboy Bot, whatever that's called? I think that's done by a little bit at this point. But no, it's just crazy seeing this Mignola versus, and I don't even think he was graduated from college yet when he made this. Either he just graduated college, or he was near his senior year, and it's just crazy how that's a takeaway from this video. How crazy young Mignola is compared to modern Mignola. You know what I mean? It's cool. Man, Rocket Raccoon has really changed in look since this book. Well, they called him Rocket because he had a rocket feet or something like that. March 16, 17 in Manhattan, New York, comic book convention. $12 for a ticket. I miss $12 ticket days at the Roosevelt Hotel. But no, is that the end of it? I know we got a little bit more. Ask for Bridget. But no, it's, got back this Bucky O'Hare character. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to draw that. So, this was my favorite find, was these early Mignola books. I've kind of teetered out of Mignola. Of course I'll buy all his Hellboy stuff, but he's done so many covers that it was getting to the point of, do I get what else I want, or do I get this one Mignola cover? And here lately it's been get the other stuff I want. And, I have a very extensive Mignola collection, but when I saw these, I had to get them. I'm actually gravitating more towards his pre-Hellboy stuff than his Hellboy stuff at this point. Like this, his Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom story, that was really awesome. And that Corum book that we looked at a long time ago. That might have been one of our first ever videos. It was a pickup video, and I've been really trying to piece together that whole series so we can look at it. I think this is the last page of this book. Really dope. I feel like there's not a super whole lot to talk about since he just did pencils, but it's, and it's so early in his career, but it's crazy to see how, if you draw like this, how much can it change, from this to Hellboy, you know what I mean? Or, look at this and look at the Wolves of St. Augustine. Probably my favorite and what I might argue the best Hellboy story for new readers. I don't know, I just really like Wolves of St. Augustine. That's that. Really dope. Like I said, this is my favorite find, was these early Mignola books. Overall, really good pickups. Nothing, super like, oh my god, I just made the lottery. But hey, it was fun doing it with my co-host. So yeah. If you like this video, and you want to see more, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps us out. My summer goal was to get 40 subscribers, and at this moment, we're at 23. So we only got 17 more people to go until we add it. So let's get her going. I'm so excited to get there. We're about to hit 24 hours of watch time over all our videos, which I think is really cool. It feels nice to think a whole day has been dedicated to watching my vids and my co-host videos. That makes me feel really good. This has been a really fun adventure. I'd like to thank everyone who's watched this video. If this is your first ever video, thank you. I hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments what you liked, what I could do better. I'm growing at this. I'm getting a new microphone to help out with audio pretty soon. And so, yeah, I guess to sum it all up, I'm going to give you some marching orders, and I'm out of here. Make more art.